There you are! Welcome, welcome, welcome to the best district in the best state in the entire country, and that is a cold, hard fact. I'm Ben Kolb, and it is my sincere privilege to welcome you to the destination district, St. Vrain Valley Schools. Originally founded here in the shadow of Longs Peak, St. Vrain Valley School now serves way more than just Longmont, because we spread out over 411 square miles and 57 different schools and programs. And we couldn't be more excited to have you on our team. So from Central Elementary School, one of our district's first schools in the heart of Longmont, up to the mountains of Lyons, to the plains of Meade, Frederick, Erie, to Niwot, to Silver Creek. We span 411 square miles, but one of the coolest parts of this district is that we are not a district of schools. We are a school district. We don't have 60 sites, each doing their own thing, each trying to solve a problem their own way and not learning from each other. We truly run hard together as a system, and that is one of the best parts of St. Vrain, and that's why we're here at the Educational Service Center, where we're going to hear from the man himself who has helped craft and implement that vision for years, Dr. Don Haddad. So let's hop in, and we're going to hear from him about the power of public education and the power of the St. Vrain system.
Hi, I'm Don Haddad, the Superintendent of Schools, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the St. Vrain Valley School District. We're currently the 7th largest school district in Colorado. We have about 33,000 students. We're nearing 60 schools, and we span out over 411 square miles, and we are continuing to grow each year. So I want to welcome you to our team. You know, I have always believed that the teaching profession and public education, this is among the most noble and important professions that there is, because it serves as a prerequisite to every other profession. And second only to parenting, we have the opportunity to influence the future of our communities and our state and our nation and our world. And when you consider that 90%, slightly over 90% of all of the children in grades kindergarten through 12th grade are enrolled in a public school, that further confirms how much opportunity we have to influence. Now, I realize that we are all entering into the school year in a very unique time. We're facing a lot of challenges, and it's going to require the very best that we all have to give, our institution collectively and then each of us individually. But I want you to know that you're joining a team of elite professionals. This is a group, in my 35 years, you are going to be working with the very best, and you are coming into a culture that will continue to relentlessly pursue excellence in everything that we do. If you want to know the key to success in this school system, first, it's an unwavering commitment to the well-being and the success of each and every one of our students, and to your colleagues, and to this community. But each and every one of our students is important and requires the best that we have to give. It's also going to be important that you embrace a really hard work ethic, that you are one of those individuals that sees work as an opportunity to continue to advance our students and our system, that you're someone who enjoys collaboration and professional growth. We have among the very best educators in the country, and you will have an opportunity to collaborate, and we are the quintessential, our whole is greater than the sum of our individual parts. And so getting connected and working together is going to be important. And I would always encourage you to reflect on your why. Why do we do this? Why did we choose public education? Because when you reflect on your why and you continue to think about how important this work is, it will inspire you to go above and beyond and constantly be pushing the envelope. And I've always liked to walk and think about things, but most recently I've reflected on the education that our children are receiving today, and the challenges they're facing are much more significant than anything we ever experienced. After 35 years of watching different classes graduate and different generations evolve, education today is an incredibly complex experience for our children. It really is. When I was growing up, we lived 6 blocks away from the high school, and we would walk to it and walk back from it, and that was our neighborhood, that was our world, that was our orbit. Today's students, their neighborhood is the world. They can connect with somebody across the globe with the click of a button. It used to be you would read a chapter, prepare for your unit exam, you'd get 8 or 9 questions, you'd try to memorize what you read, you'd respond, and you'd get your grade. Now it's about, can you empathize a problem? Can you ideate a solution? Can you prototype it, test it? Can you come back and revise it? Can you work together in teams? Can you communicate what you're thinking? Do you have the perseverance to stick with it until you can find the solution? And can you predict what might be coming next? And then when things change, can you change? Or are you stuck within that one chapter of that one textbook? Can you change? That's how learning has shifted. Look at what we're dealing with today. We're calling on the scientists who went through our public schools to solve this major health crisis. They didn't anticipate it, they didn't plan for it, they didn't invite it, but they have to solve it. And that's what public education has equipped them to do. And that's why when people talk to me about public education, why are you so invested in this? Because it's everything. It's about the economy, it's about our public safety and national security, it's about our health, it's about our property values, it's about the service that it's about everything. It's about our people. You have to see it in that way. Because that's who we are. That's what we're about in St. Vrain. I look forward to working with you as you get settled in. Lots of support for you, and I look forward to having a chance to visit your schools, to visit with you, to hear from you. You're always welcome to contact me. And remember, when you come to St. Vrain, what you are bringing is someone who is going to care more about our children than most people ever could imagine. That's what we're here for. We're here to teach them. We're here to nurture them. We're here to love them. We're here to give them second chances and third chances and stand by their side as they grow and learn. And those are the things that make St. Vrain such a special place to be. So welcome to our school district. I wish you the very best, and I am looking forward to working with you. And congratulations, and thanks for choosing St. Vrain as well. Take care.
So you can already tell that you are part of a powerful system that channels the mantra academic excellence by design. And we know that academic excellence happens because of deep relationships that you're going to form with your students. That's why you started teaching in the very first place. And to help us understand more about the importance of relationships, we're going to kick it over to our Director of Student Services, Johnny Terrell.
My name is Johnny Terrell, and I proudly serve as the Executive Director of Student Services. Many of you are just starting out, much like me 26 years ago. And you may be wondering, what is the school year going to look and feel like? Well, 26 years ago, it felt like a roller coaster ride. You know that feeling of anxiousness that you get right before the ride? That's what I had. Then the ride gets started, and as the ride gets started, you hit that first dip, moving into that first loop, and then you're scared to death. Well, that happens typically around October. At least it happened that way for me. And then once you successfully move through that first dip and that first loop, Then you get a little confidence and say, I think I can do this. That typically hits the second semester in January. And then you get the monotonous dip and loop, dip and loop, dip and loop. And then right about the time where the monotony sets in, the ride picks up again. Things start moving faster and faster and faster, and you realize I'm running out of time. And then all of a sudden, the ride comes to a screeching halt. And that happens in May. And then, like many of us, you get a break, June hits, and you get that tingling and that feeling and that sensation of, I think I want to do this again. And typically we call that summer break, and you start preparing and looking forward to the beginning of the school year, which brings us to August. And then there are some of you who are out there in the audience who, much like me 3 years ago, are transitioning from one school district to the next. And ultimately, you want to know, was it worth it? Was the move worth it? And I can unequivocally say yes, most definitely. It's been the most positive experience in my professional career over the last 26 years. Now, I'll do my best to illustrate that through our values, our mission statement, and the principles that we hold dear and true in student services. First, let me talk about our values. We value relationships. Relationships are key, not only in our department, but also in our organization. 26 years in this profession and 27 years in marriage has taught me you can either be right or in relationship. Additionally, it's taught me that you can be right all by yourself. Yes, we follow the law, we follow policy. However, our collegial relationships and our relationships with our stakeholders and partners and our families are critical. Relationships matter. Education, man, 26 years ago, I didn't think it was going to be my life's work, had no idea, but I'm truly energized by the work and by the people and the people I work with on a daily basis. I've been in several school districts, most of our school districts in Adams County, great people, great work. There's something very special about St. Vrain. Great, when I say great, phenomenal people to work with, smart. It's not just their head, but they bring their heart to the work. It makes it truly a gift and something I look forward to getting up and doing every day. So it's really about the people. It's really about the service and the work that we do on a daily basis, knowing that education is a foundation of our society. And if it were not for education, those who know my story, man, I would not be sitting here. It was initially because I could run fast and jump high. I was a great athlete. But when I started slowing down a little bit, I understood that, hey, along the way, I had great teachers, and it was my school, and it was those principals and administrators and teachers and coaches that poured into me, right? That said, okay, this is what's important. This is what's significant. Why are you doing what you're doing, right? It's not just about what you know, it's why are you doing it? And why I do it is to serve, is to give back to the community. Since I'm not back in Inglewood, California, this now becomes my Inglewood, California. This becomes my community. And I was taught, if you're gonna do it, you might as well be excellent at it, and you might as well do it 110%, and not for yourself, but for other people. And so you serve, right? You come not with your hands like this, right? Gimme, gimme, gimme. You come with your hands like this, ready to work, right? And ready to serve. And so that's been instilled in me, and through education, through my family. And so why do I do it every day? For opportunities to serve and figure out how I can help people.
All right, let's do a quick check for understanding. Let's summarize what we've learned so far. We know that we run far together as a powerful system. We heard that from Dr. Don Haddad. And we know that our system values over anything relationships. Students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We've heard that over and over. And the thing that we're going to learn next is that there is no other profession in the entire world that's more important than what you are about to do. Because through you, we 100% believe that our students are going to change the world. And to help us understand that, we're going to go to our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Jackie Capuchin.
Hi, my name is Jackie Capuchin, and I have the honor of serving as Deputy Superintendent for the St. Vrain Valley School District. I'd like to welcome the over 100 educators who are joining our winning team. And today I'd like to also share some experiences with you that have solidified my commitment to public education and to the teaching profession. I'd like to do so by reading a letter that I've written for all of you. Dear new to St. Vrain educator, when I was young, and yes, I'm going back that far, my family moved across the United States every 3 to 4 years for my father's job. School was both difficult for me, but also provided a sense of stability and predictability. I started formal schooling in the first grade in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and quickly noted my first grade teacher's dissatisfaction with my lack of letter recognition and sound recognition. That summer, my family moved to Buffalo, New York, and I started second grade with very poorly developed early literacy skills. I was immediately moved into reading intervention groups for most of the day and lost a lot of confidence as a young scholar. Enter Mrs. Blackwood in third grade, who quickly recognized my learning gaps and spent endless hours during her lunch period, before and after school, helping me learn to read. She also rebuilt my confidence by complimenting my handwriting as we began learning cursive in third grade, and by finding every opportunity to use my work as an example for the class. I had the great fortune of having her loop up with me for fourth grade, and she was also my fifth grade teacher, even though there were 3 other rounds of each grade level at my elementary school. At the end of my fifth grade year, I was named to the honor roll, and in my heart, I believe she stayed with me for 3 years to make sure that I had a solid foundation before my family moved to Texas to start my 6th grade year. She is the reason I chose the teaching profession, and as I have achieved several goals that I've set for myself in life, I often think of Virginia Blackwood's profound impact on me. Now let me shift to my first year of teaching. My first teaching experience took place in a one-room schoolhouse in 1988 in the northwestern part of the state on the Colorado-Wyoming border. Moffat County School District did not have to maintain a school in this tiny oil and gas camp where a population of about 50 lived, and could have bused students 40 miles each way, but chose to keep the school because there was a strong belief among the residents of the camp and district administration that a community is not whole without a school. This was my first lesson in teaching, and I believe it to still be true today. The second lesson I learned during this experience is that students don't fall into neat categories of what they know based on their grade level. This was both a gift and a challenge for me that first year as I tried to navigate 5 grade levels of curriculum for 10 students in grades K through 4. I spent hours reviewing the grade level objectives and materials and planning lessons that were both designed specifically for individual students and also had cross-level intersections so that teaching and learning could span all grade levels. I suspect many of you have encountered or will encounter this challenge in your classroom as well. And finally, that first year, when no one else was around to give me advice or problem solve the daily challenges that arose at the Powder Wash School, it was the relationships with my students and their parents that sustained me and the work and helped me through the other challenges of living in a very remote location without phones, the internet, paved roads, or even electricity, as we ran on generators. 32 years later, these lessons still hold true for me in our profession. 1, schools are the heartbeat of the community. And if you ever doubt this, just wait until our first day back when we all see the joy that our schools bring to students and our entire community. 2, as educators, each student comes to school with their unique talents and needs and only get one chance at a great K-12 education. And 3, strong relationships will always be the cornerstone of any classroom in which students are experiencing tremendous success. Todd Whitaker, who is an author of many books on education, once said, "You might never remember the most powerful conversation you have with a student, but that student will." So as I close, I would like to leave you with this. As we transition into the school year, which will also prove to be very challenging, it is my sincere hope that you never underestimate your impact on this world through your interactions with this generation of students. For being a public educator is both an honor and a responsibility that no other profession can replicate. All my best for an engaging and successful year. Thank you.
And I never would have thought teaching could be this difficult, but also this extreme amount of joy is, can't beat it. My name is Emma Cruz. This is my 3rd year teaching kindergarten here at Prairie Ridge. So I wanted to be a teacher my whole life since I was in kindergarten. When I was in 1st grade, my dad wrote me a poem about how I want to be a teacher someday. And I was definitely that kid who would go home after school and play school in my basement all evening long. When I was in elementary school, my dad bought me an overhead projector for Christmas to have in my classroom, so I got the full effect. So it's just always been in my DNA of wanting to be a teacher. And then as I got older, I'm just trying to figure out, okay, I've always wanted to be a teacher, but why is that? And then as I stopped to think more about the teachers that have impacted me, it really comes down to relationships. So I went to school in St. Vrain, but my 3rd grade teacher at Alpine, Mrs. Clifford, and my teachers at Lyons High School, all within this last month or 2, they've all reached out to me to check in, see how life is going, and also to encourage me for getting started on teaching kindergarten online and hybrid. So to me, that tells me that I was not just a kid in their class and like a check the box, okay, have a good life. They actually care about who I am, and that's the teacher that I strive to be for my students. One student asked me last week, which was a really big question for a kindergartner to ask, why do you want to be a teacher, or why are you a teacher? And after I explained this story to him at the end, he said, so your dreams came true? And that was a big moment of like, yes, this is my dream.
One of the things that I love the most about working in this district is that at every level, there's an unwavering belief in the power of a teacher. It starts and ends with great teaching. That's why you're here, that's why you're part of our team. But you're not going to be teaching in a one-room schoolhouse. You are going to have some of the best tools and the best training to help you do your job at an incredibly high level. And nothing better exemplifies that than this, our district's mobile lab. So let's hop aboard and learn what the mobile lab does for our students.
Welcome to the Innovation Lab. Ms. Frizzle has nothing on this. This is a flexible learning space that can do it all. We focus on above and beyond learning experiences for students. We can bring this thing to schools and take kids on a field trip to the moon or on a cage dive with great whites. But the thing that has me excited the most lately is being able to take it to community events to showcase the accomplishments of students because of the best teachers like you. This lab is one of many examples of partnering with local businesses around St. Vrain and how supportive our community is. They know the power of public education and that we're doing it at the highest level. Check us out at mobilelab.svvsd.org. We are here to support you as teachers, the most important profession in the world.
Wow, a mobile innovation lab is definitely something I've never seen from a school district. I guess I've also never seen a school district where every single teacher gets a brand new iPad, super fast MacBook Air, and both of those devices loaded up with thousands of dollars worth of software and applications so that they can do their job at a high level. And basically all their students are equipped with a device as well. And these super fast devices are even faster when you consider that our district has one of the fastest internet connections for a school district in the entire country. We have one of the only help desks for a school district in the country as well. All this headed up by an elite team called the Department of Technology Services. And this team is headed by Michelle Bourgeois. So let's head over to DTS to hear from Michelle about her team.
Welcome and welcome to DTS. I'm Michelle Bourgeois. I'm the Chief Technology Officer here in the district. I'm so grateful that you have joined our district and that you are going to get a chance to see some of the amazing learning that happens because of the technology that we're able to provide. You know, 30 years ago, I started my career in education as a classroom teacher and spent 20 years in the classroom. I can remember back to my first classroom with 2 computers where our students were learning to program and code. And I think about the amazing opportunities that our students have today and that you're going to be able to provide them. And I think about just how far we've come here. So to give you a little context, District Technology Services encompasses the teams that help support our hardware, our software, and our infrastructure. And they're the folks who make sure that you have what you need to be an effective teacher. We are here to serve and support. And if you were to come into DTS, you'd see our culture wall, which reminds us of who we are and what we believe is true in supporting teachers and learning across our district. One of the things you'll see at the top of that wall is our mantra, which is enriching education. And I truly believe that our team is committed to making sure that everything we do, from providing the hardware that you get to use as a teacher to the hardware that our students get to use, the programs and apps that are available to you, to the infrastructure, you know, all of the pieces in the back end that make sure that teaching goes seamlessly. All of those are a component that we are committed to making sure that we provide for you so that we are enriching education every day in our environment. I hope that you get a chance to meet several of our team members. They are eager to be in your classroom supporting you, making sure you have what you need. Make sure you give the help desk a call anytime that you have a concern or need some support, because they are so excited every time they get a chance to help you be successful as a teacher. And know that we're here. We want you to feel fully supported, and we are excited about the creativity and the innovation that you're going to bring to our classroom. If I had to give you one piece of advice from my long years in the classroom, it would go back to something that is a quote from Steve Jobs, where he said, you know, our role is to put a dent in the universe. And I hope that you find the way that you can do that for your classroom and for your students. Thank you for saying yes to St. Vrain. And thank you for the adventures that are going to come. I can't wait to see what wonderful things happen in your classroom, and I hope you'll share them with us here in DTS.
So you're now part of a very powerful system. You heard that from Dr. Haddad. And we're doing the most essential work on the entire planet. You heard that from him as well. And you heard from Dr. Capuchin about the importance of each of our individual roles as teachers and how that can't be understated. But you're not doing this important, life-changing work alone. We have an entire raucous crowd of fanatics supporting us every step along our way. From business partners like we have here, Stapp Toyota, to UC Health and IBM and Sphero. We have so many community partners who are the biggest supporters of our work and want to shout the amazing work you're doing in the classroom from the rooftops. And to tell us more about that, we're going to kick it to our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Diane Lauer.
How amazing is this? Thank you so much for being with us as a new employee, a new teacher here in St. Vrain. Here I am, downtown Longmont. This is a pretty amazing place. You know, there's 10 communities that make part of the St. Vrain Valley schools, and each one of them has a historic downtown. And that means that there's a lot of history and a lot of heart, not only for the community, but for us here in education and for what we do. I have to tell you, in my 30-year career, I've never worked in such a community that I felt so much investment in me as an educator. So I invite all of you, as you're out and about in your new community, take some time to get to know the local businesses, the families, the organizations, and the city governments and the museums and everything that they have to offer. Because you'll probably not be surprised that they are part of our district partnerships. You know, we have close to 100 different partnerships that we actively are involved with to help ensure that our schools are the very best we can be. These communities have provided incredible support, providing 2 bonds, 2 mill levies that have created such a strong investment that have made 21st century learning a possibility for all of our families and students. Thank you so much and enjoy your time here in St. Vrain.
Welcome to the coolest building I've ever been to in my entire life. We are here at our district's Innovation Center, and people who visited Apple headquarters or Google headquarters out in California say that our building, our Innovation Center, is even cooler than those buildings. But to me, this building really represents what community support does for our district. Our community supports us so much that they build us incredible buildings like this to do our work in. And the reason that our community supports us is because we are very great at sharing what we do with the community using things like Twitter and Facebook. And so we're going to kick it upstairs to Eunice from the communications team, who's going to talk to us about the importance of sharing our story on Twitter using the hashtag #StVrainStorm. So let's go.
Hey teachers, so you've made it this far in the video, and by now you can probably tell that this is an amazing system. School is so much more different than it was when a lot of us were growing up. I mean, Ferris Bueller's teacher, I'm sure, could not go through a whole class period teaching in our district.
Bueller.
Powerful learning happens every day here in St. Vrain. The way we talk about teaching is so important to how the world sees our profession. It's like the famous quote that says, "Tell your story or someone else will." Well, here in St. Vrain, we like to tell our story. And one of the ways that you can help us by telling our story is through Twitter. When powerful learning happens in your classroom, I encourage you to reach out to your principal. Let them know what's happening in your class. Invite them into your class so that they can take pictures and we can share them out for you. Teachers are the most powerful allies and advocates in advancing public education. You are doing the most important work and we are counting on you. So now that you watched this video, we have a challenge for you. We want you to tweet out your answer to this question. Why are you excited to be part of our team? When you tweet out your answer, make sure you use hashtag #StVrainStorm. The communications team is always here for you. Please reach out to us and share any amazing stories, amazing learning going on in your classroom, and we will share it out for you. Have a great start of the school year.
Hello, I'm Joey Segrist, and I have the privilege of serving as the Board of Education President here in St. Vrain Valley Schools. I'm at a school today that is near and dear to my heart, Hygiene Elementary. In 1979, I began my public education journey here at Hygiene. Then in 2004, I stepped into a wonderful new role, that of a parent of a first grader here at Hygiene. During my time at this school, I've been a student, a parent, a community member, and a Board of Education member. Hygiene Elementary School is so much more than simply a place for children to begin their education. It is a place where schools, communities, and businesses come together to invest in a bright and prosperous future. Our St. Vrain communities understand the importance of partnerships and investing in strong schools. Through their support, the district has sustained a strong commitment to a set of strategic priorities that prioritize student achievement, success, well-being, and safety. In St. Vrain, we are committed to preparing students for graduation and post-secondary success, but we don't stop there. We are committed to ensuring that every student graduates from St. Vrain Valley Schools with a strong competitive advantage so that they are ready to compete in a technologically based global economy. Our district is home to over 70 focus programs, including IB, advanced manufacturing, medical and biosciences, STEM, visual and performing arts, and aerospace and engineering. Our students are nationally recognized in athletics, fine arts, and robotics. These daily learning opportunities and interactions ensure our students are on their way to becoming our future teachers, doctors, scientists, farmers, and leaders. Today, St. Vrain students are living and working across the world and contributing to global success. They are scaling El Capitan, running small businesses, leading nonprofit organizations, treating patients, educating students, and so much more. So as I look across our district and I consider our students, families, teachers, staff, community members, and businesses, I am filled with nothing but gratitude and hope for the future. Welcome to St. Vrain Valley Schools.
Hi, I'm Dina Perfetti-Dini, and I'm an Area Assistant Superintendent. As you just saw, you are joining an incredible community of educators, and we are so excited to have you join our team. We just know your first year in St. Vrain Valley Schools will be amazing. You have an entire community here to support you in being successful. On behalf of all of us here in the district, welcome and have a terrific school year.